this video today. Dallas Air Show crash. 6 people confirmed dead, says county judge. It got 89,000 views. Not about the views, but you know how they go about it. And you know, I'm just gonna go to the video.
Is difficult to watch.
I never played around, but there's a speed, I believe, and this is the plane right here. I don't know how many feet is that, but it's far away, decently far away. This is a small plane right here, and he has a vision. He sees he sees first of all he sees at this angle, probably even maybe like this, very low. But I'm pretty sure he has an eye view of this plane. You know, obviously it happens really fast. It's not slow, but
the video begins with.
And here it is. It's like it's chasing that plane, at least to my knowledge. You know.
World War II planes flying for me.
It's like, you know, how could that person not see it?
Watches the smaller one.
And it got right into his back. Unless he was the pilot was staring at something else. I mean, from the trajectory, you know, he had to see that plane. Had to see, you know, fly into him.
Collides with the bigger plane, clipping off the tail of the larger plane. Both plummeting to the ground. The larger plane exploding on impact.
Was that supposed to happen?
These videos will be crucial.
And you know, there's that kid. Was that supposed to happen? I thought it was a girl. It might be a boy because you know, sounds really young. So you know, but it's like I don't care. I mean, I guess you're like 2, 3. You're surprised, you're scared, right? But like, how do you not even, you know, say, is that supposed to happen? You know, it's unreal as well. I mean, I don't know. I refuse to believe that, you know, it was an accident. You know. Like, you know, a couple months ago, you know, there was a truck. It just like it went from for the road. It was just like it was done on purpose. Like he didn't care anymore. You know, it's like it wasn't an accident with some truck. I don't know where it was. Midwest. I think it was California. I'm not sure. You know, and then like 1 or 2 people pointed that out. How he just like he went off slowly or something like that. Yeah, am I just making stuff up? You know, I'm pretty sure people won't, you know, accuse me of that. I'm not, you know.
The video begins with World War II planes flying in formation. Watch as the smaller one collides with the bigger plane, clipping off the tail of the larger plane. Both plummeting to the ground. The larger plane exploding on impact.
Was that supposed to happen?
These videos will be crucial.
It's absolutely hard for all the people, you know. Especially riding in that plane, you just can't. Its impact, it's horrible. You know, I'm pretty sure it was painless, but just devastating just to be there. It's a shock.
Was investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board
you know, even being on and watching that, you know, it's just like you won't believe it. You know, it's like a car crash. It's crazy, but you know, when in reality, you just get shocked and consumed by it. You know, you just get like what the fuck, you know.
To pinpoint the cause.
The maneuvers that they were going through were not dynamic at all. It was what we call bombers on parade.
Hank Coates.
And yeah, I know there's a person named Jeff. Be like, yeah, it was great. You should have been there. You know,
the organization that put on the air.
They say these pilots were, you know, very well trained. They had a lot of experience. At least that guy did.
Airshow said it could not comment on the crash itself until the NTSB finishes their work. Thousands had gathered Saturday at Dallas Executive Airport for the annual air show put on by the Commemorative Air Force. The crash happened several hours into the show, about 1:15 p.m.
Some people thought it was just reenactment. I mean, these are playing for World War II. Okay, they're just doing another reenactment.
Marbella Garcia said people quickly realized it wasn't part of the show.
Look at that.
Everyone was just kind of in shock. Like, is this really happening?
It's believed 6 people died. The 5
How could a pilot flying that small plane miss that big plane?
crew members on board the bigger plane, the Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress, similar to this one, and a single pilot fighter, Bell P-63 King Cobra, like this one. Both planes are based in Houston. A day earlier, planes from the Commemorative Air Force flew over a local elementary school.
Well trained. So
Flew over a local elementary school.
the pilots are very well trained. So it's difficult for me to talk about it because I know all of you. These are family and good friends.
Coates said all of the pilots and crew involved have decades of experience.
We have a lot of fans. Our families ride on these aircraft. My wife ordered on that aircraft last year, and I put her in it again. This is not about the aircraft.
Here's a better look at those planes. Only a handful of these can still fly. Boeing developed the B-17 in the 1930s.
The impressive part of it is for, I guess there's 4 engines, right? They call it Shmuel. I knew a guy that, I don't make a joke, I knew a guy that says he worked on, just fixing well, actually, no, it wasn't this type of engine, it was something else, but this is the cockpit, and here's where they have the guns, machine guns. It's a dual system, I guess, and you know, you just sit there. I mean, I can imagine just something like that and just shoot, you know, when the plane is flying. Let's say you have a plane going forward, or you know, this one is trailing, and you shoot at the planes, you know, and I think it moves up and down or left to the right or something like that. I mean, it's a pretty impressive plane, you know, but I mean, it's really about the plane, and you know, my earnestly bro prays for everyone involved. Prayers, the whole prayers things, you know, and, like, what is that gonna do when your prayers to a supernatural being, right, somewhere in the universe that, you know, like, we'll take it easy on them because you prayed, you say a bunch of things in your mind. I mean, people actually believe that. You know, I get it with somebody that when I was a kid, I was praying for them too, for their souls or something. You know, let's say I pray for the souls and I say a bunch of prayers for the soul. Well, I mean, what, they're gonna be taken easy upon? You know, they live that. Let's say you get judged, and a typical worshiper, or someone that's religious, you know, their belief system, you know, they get judged based on how they are, the kind of person they are, right? You know, or not, or they went to church every Sunday or Saturday, Friday, Thursday, whatever, you know. Your day for services is really that as well, that counters in, or like all those it's a Catholic event, but I believe a lot of Christians believe it as well. The 7 deadly sins, like you shouldn't steal, murder, I don't know, basically commit all crimes, or covet that neighbor's goods, covet that neighbor's wife, you know, disgusting things as well in life. What are you gonna be judged on? And are those prayers gonna help? Tragic all around, the loss of life and the loss of planes. So sad. The loss of planes. You know what it is? Those planes could be reconstructed, remade. Maybe not those that crash, you know, but if anybody wants, they could recreate that plane. It won't be the same kind from like the Second World War. You know, maybe they should be in a museum, and then, you know, maybe they should, you know, get planes like that if you're fascinated by them, or just go to a museum. And then they're talking about the B-17 at Ellington numerous times, as well as the pilots. Nothing but pain and sadness for all involved. Do you care about those people? Do you even know them? Or is it the B-17? I think it's gorgeous too, but you know what? I think a life is more important than a medal put together. Even though it's well crafted and it is exciting. I saw, I was like, wow, I remember watching movies about that. And you know what the irony is? That plane was used for war, to kill, slaughter people. Yeah, it's an immorality. Even though you're defending yourself, you're still doing a horrible deed. You know, I'm someone that stands against war. I don't want war. And you have to, I mean, if we talk about someone like the Nazis, neo-Nazis, Second World War, the Nazis and, you know, the regime, yeah, I mean, they had to be fought. But I'm pretty sure, you know, I mean, I don't know how deranged you gotta be. You gotta, you know, go to the plane, in there, you're shooting, you might get shut down just like that, and fall to your death, never see your family, and, you know, you're gonna worship that plane. You know, you're gonna worship a machine gun that, you know, you saw people get slaughtered in a time of World War. It is a beautiful plane, though. And RIP to those brave men and women who died. I guess it's like war all over again, right? Except, you know, rest in peace, rest in peace. Yeah, it's a thing people say, but you know, and that wasn't peaceful, and there's just not a lot of peace going on Earth, you know, lately, or for you know, a better part of its history. This is absolutely awful. Honestly, speeches, condolences to all the family and loved ones. Yeah, I mean, that's condolences, you know, you give your respect and all that. The Bell P-63, and again about the plane. The fact that people that were actually there thought it was fake at first blows my mind. Yeah, I didn't hear any shit like, oh, Jesus, you know, people just like shocked and quiet except that one little girl or something, or a boy or whatever. Such a heartbreaking loss of the great aircraft and the CAF crews who flew them. Alright. Let's see what they say. It's called shock. You ever spend some time around human beings? If so, you might actually be able to pick up on basic human emotion and expression. I don't know. Depends. Were they intoxicated? No, maybe. Maybe be like, oh, depends. You know, I mean, it depends. If I see a car accident, you know, or a plane accident, I never seen anything like that in my life, but yeah, I guess you go through shock. Yeah, I don't know, you've been in a situation, but when gunshots go off, people think fireworks or tires power. People never think the worst. I can date that because I've been there. Yeah, well, this is not gunshots. This is visual. You can see what happened. People were looking at the planes, assumingly, you know. And even if they seen the exact plane, they seen the explosion. So don't compare it to a gunshot. Like, why are people even hiding that? You know. This is just so ridiculous. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna tell you to lie better. You know, you're trying. I'll give you a thumb down, right? Or maybe they just didn't see the actual accident and thought it was pyrotechnics or something. Yeah, right. They didn't see the actual. I mean, are you really gonna be, you know, that dense about it? Severe trauma typically creates denial. You don't want to accept being there or something. Denial. Really, they're in denial. They're just like, it shouldn't have happened. I'm in denial about that. No, you're in denial that maybe, Jesus, you don't have a conscience. Except you're lying to people, or, you know, you really just don't care about loss of life, and you probably would have enjoyed that. You probably watched it for, you know, a cool explosion. Yeah, and, you know, it's just a joke. You know, what are you talking about? Denial, severe trauma. Maybe like weeks or months after the time, yeah, you can deny it because like the things, you know, you were thinking or something that happened tragically, you might be in denial for that. You're not in denial about witnessing, you know, explosion, a plane explosion, and you know, you're dense, you don't feel anything. That's not denial. And you know, the visibility in the fighter plane is absolutely abysmal, and he didn't see the bomber whatsoever. Well, you know, so to the small plane, abysmal. So he's trying to say it's minimal, right? Someone said, because I kind of think he did see it, if it was a he, but you know, and he just points out the way this person says is nuke North Korea to the 2023. Well, what year is it? All right, buddy, you still have time on your mission. Oh, this guy's a guy of peace, right? He just North Korea. I thought he just said just fucking Korea, whatever. You know, at least he knows the difference, right? 24 likes in North Korea. That's just, you know, fucking, you know, just did he get a conversation with somebody? He just like, you know, I'm just gonna say before somebody says it, you know, like, is it one of those? Wow. Yeah. These old planes don't have TCA systems, and you are correct. I guess it's some kind of GPS system, and why even attributing a human visual sight to a TCA system, like a computer system or some kind of technology. An underwiring plane has a very limited view below and forward below. An underwing plane. This type of accident happens more than you think. I think of at least two other similar involving civilian planes. One was two planes both coming in for a landing basically on top of one another. The bottom plane, I mean, this person is giving examples, but I don't know, from my standpoint, it just looks like, you know, you fly in a plane and you see a big bomber. It wasn't a small little plane. Even a small plane, I'm pretty sure it'd be hard to see if you're going fast. Thank you, handled this in a respectful manner. Right on, brother. Geez, can't even have an air show without a tragedy. Wow, sucks, huh? You know, I don't know, go back to playing video games, or maybe go to one that isn't tragic, so, you know, you enjoy one. You know, I'm pretty sure they're sorry to disappoint you. You know, if you were there, you'd probably get your money back. What a tragic loss of life. I hope they figure out the cause. The poor families from each plan, well, the poor families from each plane, I hope they don't blame the rear plane guy. The families. Yeah. Oh, you see, is he trying to say they blame the families of the rear plane guy? just randomly came out and said that, right? Yeah, if it was on purpose, I would blame the guy. Who knows? I mean, maybe I'll blame some of you. You probably would have done that as well. All right, there. Say your little tragic prayers, whatever you're into. Seems like the smaller plane went into the big one. My goodness, R.I.P. Heartbreaking. That he's not really good at descriptive stuff. Oh, he's a saint. Wonder which denomination he is from. Chazria. I guess it's a female. I noticed that toe. I know that too. Looking intentionally done. It seems like the smaller plane went into the big one. My goodness, R.I.P. Heartbreaking. I noticed that too. Looking into okay, the guy that actually says is looking intentionally. I just misspelled it. It did crash into the big one. Skullface. Alien Skullface or Skullface. Bruh. Wow. Sheesh. When that little boy said, was that supposed to happen? So sad. Sad face, puzzled face. Poor kid, he'll remember that forever. And there's some guy going, yeah, he's a lucky bastard. Ha! Prayers to the families. Right. Very sad prayers for everyone involved. Sad prayers like this prayers or that prayers. As a pilot, my heart breaks for the loss of life. I don't want to come across disrespectfully. However, we are losing 00 irreplaceable aircrafts to needless accidents. Sergeant Brown. March on, brother, march on. So very sad. It's difficult to believe pilot error was the cause. Very difficult. So let's not believe it. Let's believe whatever we want to believe and say it's denial. The small plane literally crashed into the big one. Like hypothetically, with decades of experience, perhaps intentional. To me, it looks like the smaller one was after the big one. Yeah, it's the way they said it. Yeah, I mean, maybe it was part of the air show, like they had to conjure and fly around it. But I mean, maybe he just missed him by, I don't want to say a mile because that would have been good. But I don't know. Now I'm starting to think. Just even the way people react, just that alone is very creepy and disturbing. Ao was so steep he never even seen the bomber. AOA was so steep he never even seen the bomber. He was steep, but I think his nose was down. I'm not even gonna get into that. This alone just shows the humanity or lack thereof of individuals, not just on the internet but in the world. El ojitos tristes. Y por eso tus ojitos están tristes. I would have said son. I guess I gotta brush up my Spanish. That's why he has sad eyes. Alright. Who was the pilot of the King Cobra? I could just see him in like his combat boots and my ex-boss's pants, like a tank top, or maybe just, maybe just without a shirt, just, trying to get muscular and just type stuff like he's, that was clairvoyance. Maybe he's out there, man. I don't even know. That was not a difficult maneuver, and the small plane was aware that there was a bigger planes in the vicinity. Faster, maybe I was wrong, but maybe I'm right. Maybe it's me. Faster and smaller planes should yield to slow, bigger planes and fly at different altitude. Was his health okay? Maybe he had a heart problem or some kind of seizure to go straight onto that plane like that, watching from 3 different videos. Right? Does the size of the plane matter? Because if that plane, hit it smaller, it would have been much harder. Probably easier to hit that big plane, but also it was easier to spot the plane. And faster and smaller planes should yield to slow. If it's a smaller plane, you could easily probably turn it as well, right? And what about the different altitude? It was coming just from around. Also, there were warplanes, right? What was that plane doing there? That's looking like a transporter, small plane. At least that's what it looked like. One of those white planes. There's an airport here, and it's like a private plane. Maybe I need to rewatch that again. then he should fly at different altitudes and avoid changing altitude unless a straight line. And he should have been told that there may be slower, bigger planes near the airspace. That was not a difficult maneuver at all. No, the biggest killer of veteran pilots is almost always complacency. It's an awful shame. They are known for horrible visibility. At Bronto. On the other video, a spectator pilot the show was listening to the air coordinator air boss giving flight instructions as the show progressed. Reported that right before the planes collided, they were all in a banking turn maneuver. The air boss had instructed the pilot commanding the P-63 to overtake the B-17. Don't know for sure if this is factual. As usual, we will have to wait for the final report from the NTSB. Overtake the B-17. If you watch carefully, the smaller plane is in a committed left-hand turn, approximately 35% of bank. The pilot of the smaller plane never saw or lost sight of the bomber. Never saw or lost sight of the bomb. What? At that degree of banking, the pilot can't see over his starboard wing unless he starts to level the aircraft. He never did that and flew right into the bomber. I mean, let me rewatch that. Yeah, if he has his nose up, but if he has it pointed down, he could see. I mean, like he was flying downward though. Like, what is the trajectory was pointed to a certain degree. I get it if he has the nose, but I mean, he wasn't flying. Even flying up, and I mean, if the bomber came from underneath him, I would understand it. And you know, the way this person talks, I mean, seems fairly educated to a certain degree, like, you know, which words they use. But it's, you know, it's the people that just misspell stuff, and you know, they understand it, or they understand it, or at least they're, you know, they're not just covering stuff like that. At least to my knowledge. This is again, this person, I'm not gonna mispronounce it. At 112, you clearly see that the P-63 has the big plane just in front, and impossible not to see it. He starts descending and bearing left with the plane wings not leveled, but at 125. Bearing left with the plane wings not leveled, but at 125 degree angle. You know, that's like, let's say, like this. A dangerous move to change altitude, turn, and you're approaching slower plane. And now approaching slower plane. Or the plane had a problem, or he had a medical problem, or he was distracted because obviously he was not in any kind of jihad. Prayers for the family and may all pilots RIP. It was his 3 o'clock and below him. Right, well, 3 o'clock would be this way. I think it was he was at 6 o'clock of the big plane in the video and descending at a sharp angle. It depends which, you know, which moment, but all right. I would say when he hit, he was at 6 o'clock. Before that, it appeared like it was 8 or 9. And descending at a sharp angle that is not safe, but probably someone told him that he was safe. Who knows? Small plane misjudged the larger plane's speed and closed too quickly. Horrible tragedy. The air show is open from the tower and has a boss to oversee each of the aircraft. The King Cobra was off course when the B-17 was beneath him and approaching from his 3 o'clock. Right? The control boss would have required separation, and the fact that there was closure between the two aircraft. I mean, I just feel like, you know, it was only seconds before the debris hit the ground and could have killed a lot of people. People on the ground were very lucky because the aircraft were flying right. It's fortunate that didn't happen over a populated place. Could have been a lot worse if they had come somewhere else. That is true, that, but there's people that probably wanted that, wouldn't care for, they enjoy to see people die. That's the most disturbing and creepiest part, But the person did see whether they have a case, and the person in a smaller plane see or didn't see. It is relevant, but it's also irrelevant. There's a lot of people that just, who knows? Maybe the crazy would have done it, or they just would have instigated that person to do it. They wouldn't want to see that. Just see, people blow up in space. I mean, in the atmosphere, in air. Very tragic. Semper Fidelis. Prayers to everyone. So sad. Prayers to all involved. Right? Was the pilot of P-60? I will bet the B-17 crew did not even know what hit them. Maybe not. Maybe they knew they couldn't do anything. The sky is literally empty. Boggles the mind how trained pilots can collide midair. Trained pilots. The sky was not empty. There were several planes in the air at once in a relatively small place. That is true. There was a lot of planes there. It's not the usual procedure of planes flying. It was just warplanes, right? Reenactment as an air show. That's why they were also trained for that. I was at Love Field yesterday and watched towards. Right. So if that's not aircraft, then what exactly is he saying? Because he also said the pilots are well trained, so it's not one or the other, because it can be something else. We thought it was just a reenactment. This is why I attend these events and wouldn't take my son to one. I am saddened for the survival family members and for the tragic of the attendees of this event. Kind of tired of reading now. Just prayers. Very sad. I don't get how the small plane couldn't avert crashing right into the big one. It looks like it had time to break off. Looks almost like it's smashing into it deliberately. Let's say you're like 20, 30 feet away, that small plane. Couldn't just turn, just went right into the back. I've seen crashes like this before. Finding a channel that shows the crash. Thank you. How difficult was that? I mean, yeah, alright. A channel that shows, because the other one's there. That's alright. I had someone calling me, so And I'm pretty sure this is sarcasm, but when someone types it out, you can't really tell. I mean, who knows? Maybe someone knows sarcasm. Maybe it's really evil. Maybe evil people just don't know sarcasm. At least they were fulfilling the very important life and death mission entertainment. The risk to life is trivial compared to the risk of people being bored. It just sounds like sarcasm. They don't mean it. There's Sergeant Brown again. Not to mention the aircrafts that can never be replaced. I think he means that. It's like, I don't think he understands the sarcasm, and he's trying to add to that. Or maybe they both mean. I mean, I know that he means it, but total entertainment forever. I wonder if one of those guys say, yeah, it was good, is in here somewhere typing this stuff right now. The single seat pilot killed them with his stupidity. Yeah, or just, pretty much. Or just, who knows. I don't know. If stupidity is the word, but then maybe RIP. What is it about Dallas? A history of strange phenomena. How do two planes crashed each other? World War II planes were heavy and difficult to maneuver. World War II pilots had a skill all their own that today's pilots cannot possibly duplicate without further training. Blessing to victims and their families. RIP. Putin must be held accountable for this horrible crime, right? It's time to end these things once and for all. I cannot think of any other attraction that results in as many deaths. Pray for the families of all involved. Are there any attractions that attract? This is the major attraction that attracts that many deaths. There are accidents in the air like that. Just there's it's probably I don't know. I don't even want to think about it. All right. This is terrible news. RIP. This looked deliberate. How can that be? condolences to the families of all who were lost and for those who had to witness this event. There's no possible way to see what's underneath a P-63, and at the angle, the B-17 was practically invisible. That's what they're going to argue, I guess, but, you know. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for saving these brave individuals. Without our prayers and your love, this could have been much worse. Right? So, you know, you prayed before it happened. Well, if you prayed before it happened, you know, why didn't you tell anybody it was going to happen? Mate, they're dead. No one's saved. Which brave individuals were saved? Who? And fighter at 6 o'clock. Fighter at 6 o'clock. You know, I bet you he still has the headphones on from that one. Beautiful. Beautiful, huh? Well, I guess I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mean, I get it. Cary Cemetery. That's Cary Cemetery 776. Crying face. Should have come over the Zohali air show. Those two Jeeps singing were so incredible point. Safer too. Talking about an air show. Like pilots, I mean planes and whatnot. And Logan says, the person on the small plane definitely crashed to the big one on purpose. There was no way that was an accident. Nope, it was definitely an accident. This is obviously an accident. This is obviously an accident. The bomber was in the fighter's blind spot. In his blind spot, right? What happened to lead to this is under investigation, so let's not speculate and disrespect those who died. Really, so there's an investigation, like James No over here says, 26, right? There's an investigation, but you know, they're trying to figure out. Maybe they speculate, and you know, you'll disrespect those that die by just having, I don't know, trying to figure it out. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be that, you know, condescending about it and hidden about it with your. I mean, actually, it's out in the open, but you know, it's like this is so sneaky and snake-like. I mean, do people really think that? Really? Definitely unintended. Definitely unintended. Wow. This happens so often. What did you kind of expect it to happen? This was two Benghazi's worth of deaths. R.I.P. Why were these two planes at the same elevation? I don't think they were at the same elevation, but alright. This happens like twice a year at these air shows. I didn't even know that. Twice a year? Wow, that's a lot. Wow, someone child said this is that supposed to happen? Wow, someone child said that was supposed to happen. I think that's not how you spell that. It should be a D-A-T. I'm not picking on the guy, but he's, you know, he actually gets it. It's like, you know, what a fucking moron. I just want to ask him how you spell moron. I'm not gonna go there. They're trying to make a joke about this. You know, he's like, he's very happy. You know, not about that, but you know. All that sky. It's very poetic, but it's fucked up at the same time. Passion of John. How fucking creepy and religious are you, man? Wow, bro. Like, you know, like what? Pretend to drown people and try to save them or some shit? You should talk to my cousin. Oh, wow. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Oh, that sky. It's definitely all that sky. I like it, though. Neither pilot could see each other. Both were doing it as directed from the ground. Someone's feeling very sick right about now, knowing they accidentally killed 6 people. The job of air boss isn't all glamour. The responsibility is enormous. RIP all these very talented crew members of both planes. They never knew what hit them. Happy Valentine's Day. I put her in it again. At least put out the fire first. Just jokes. Too many sacrifices. 100 locks. No, that's not what they mean, but a fighter pilot made a serious error. That's pretty much true. The little plane crashed into the video on IG shows the little plane hit the tail of the larger plane. Sad. IG. Oh yeah, duh. I had to think for a second. See, I never mess with Instagram. I know like a chump, but you know, yeah, whatever. I don't care about that. I mean, maybe I'll watch it later, but it's you know, I mean, maybe you can have some jokes if you just know what's going on, but it's like it's just horrible what's going on. You know, it's like I'm just gonna end it at that. No, okay, definitely was not supposed to happen. China's air show left. Unhit said hope we found out. Been happening too much. It's sad about human mistakes. The smart plane pilots should have known better. Right. That's pretty much true. The system should tolerate errors. If you demand that people perform perfectly to avoid crashes, there will be crashes from time to time. Yeah, that kind of reasoning, right? So sad. I hope they stop doing these shows. Do we have a nameless? Stunts go wrong. Learn from the birds. No showing off. Small plane aimed at big plane, right? Or who would think that's a reenactment? The literary train for this show. The fuck? the literary train for the show. The fuck? So that's what an airplane ATL 1. So that is what an airplane looks like. Both aircraft didn't incinerate and disappear. You know what? Oh, it sounds like a dude with the hot shoer, but who knows? Please tell me it's not an animal on your oh yeah. Wow, bro. Always with this. Alright, come on YouTube. I mean, come on my laptop. Let's see what Hot Chewer's into. Yeah, just a bunch of gun stuff. Nothing fancy. That's who he watches. I'm pretty sure it's a guy. Hot Chewer. Could be a film, but I'm pretty sure it's a guy. All from one channel. About assault rifles. And sniper.
Yes, it is an expensive air gun.
Culture of bang bang, right? I mean, how old are you that you know, you're just gonna incinerate just go nowhere? Like what? Like let's say, I don't know, a plane hits a Pentagon and just, you know, it's incinerated. Right? There's not engine, no engine parts, no tail whatsoever. Hit a concrete building, right? It would have just bounced off, maybe just, you know, bounce off. It would go straight in, just nothing there. And it's like, what, the rest of us gotta believe that stuff? I mean, ponder it, but it's like, would you really fucking say that? You know, and every physics teacher, you know, we brought an expert. Was that supposed to happen? Shock Trump. Yeah, big surprise. Yeah, man, that's you can read somebody's comments and you know, you leave a comment, we get a reply back.